You're listening to Click Lounge with Tarannum and Rina on RJ 1200. We are now hanging out with Dona Sharma, BC Delegate for Miss World Canada. Welcome, Dona.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for being here. You have the most beautiful smile I've ever seen.
It's a pleasure being here. Thanks for having me.
Do you know what I love about Dona? She wore her Miss World Canada sash.
Although she's on radio. Love it. Love it.
She's totally getting into the moment. I love it.
So, how does it feel? BC Delegate for the Miss World Canada pageant. What does it mean?
I'm really excited. This is the first time I'm doing something like this because most of the time I've been on the academic side. You know, I'm going to UBC, and this pageant is not just like any other typical pageant. It has a very strong tie with Variety, the children's charity, and so it not only gives young women a platform to display their talents and be recognized for that, but as well they can contribute to the local and international community by helping raise funds for Variety. So I'm really excited for the entire
So,
show.
Dona, how did you get selected as the BC Delegate?
So they had auditions. So because it's a national event, they have auditions in every, region in Canada. And so there was an audition for the BC region, and I was one of the people who got selected for that. And it was mainly based, they look at your entire profile. So it's not just about, how the physical aspect of it, but they look at your entire profile, you get interviewed, and it's just the whole overall.
Is this something, getting into a pageant, is this something that you've always wanted to do, or is this something that was brought to you by someone else and they encouraged you to get into it?
It was actually very random. I hadn't ever thought that I was going to do something like this.
Interesting.
Yeah, and one of the main reasons that sort of motivated me to do it right now is because I'm graduating this year.
Okay.
And so I'm going to take a year off and work. And so that gives me a bit, I'll be doing something totally new. So that's a very new experience, and it's coming to Vancouver for the first time. So it was another big motivation because it's coming all the way here. It always happens in Toronto. And so that's another reason.
So you representing the home city, that's amazing. That's a huge position.
Yes, I'm excited about it. And there's also a few other girls from the BC region.
Okay.
So there's a few girls from pretty much every province in Canada. There's 33 in total.
Right. And so your background, you said that you're a student and this is your final year. So what are you doing in school?
I'm going to UBC Vancouver, and I'm taking biotechnology.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
Biotechnology, Tarannum.
That's intimidating.
What is biotechnology? Sorry, we're very creative people. Dona, you have to forgive us.
Yeah.
No, it's a mix of all different kind of disciplines. So there's a bit of biology and a bit of chemistry, microbiology, immunology. And as far as job perspectives are concerned, most graduates would either end up going into the drug industry or pharmaceuticals, or many of us want to go to medical school or do an MBA. So there's lots of options, and it's very, broad.
You have a poster right in front of you that says green. That's all I see.
Yes.
Oh, look at that.
That's the poster from Variety, the children's charity.
Yeah.
And this poster basically is showing one major way that we can use to raise funds for Variety.
Okay.
So Variety has these pins. They're called the Gold Heart pins with Kermit the Frog on it.
Okay.
And
He's adorable, by the way.
yes, he is very cute.
Is he a contestant?
Yeah, so and these pins can be sold for a minimum donation of $3.
Okay.
So I would like to request the entire community to, pay attention to this, and if they can contribute to it it's just $3, and it's a great way to help children.
You're so well trained, Dona. I mean, I love it. You've got your sash on, you've got your poster, you've got your buttons. You're all good to go. That's perfect. Dona, this pageant. I mean, we all have a perception of what a beauty pageant is.
Yes.
Can you give us an idea of the different areas, the different categories that you'll be judged on? Because it's not just about being beautiful anymore. There's a lot more to it. So.
Yes, exactly. So there's a component of the pageant that's about 10% is based on how many funds you can raise, and then there's another 10% on how well you can promote it. So promotions is a big part of it. And then there's a component for interview skills, like how you communicate and all those sort of things.
Well, I'm sure you're going to get 10 on 10
I was
going to
say that. It all makes sense now, right?
You speak really, really well.
Thank you. And also then a big component of it is based on the final night itself, when they, you look the entire presentation and how you speak in front of the audience and the question answer session, just like you see in other pageants. And there's also a lot of optional categories that are not compulsory. So typically people would expect like a swimsuit round.
I was just going to ask you that, Donna, about swimsuit. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's not compulsory. They made it optional, and plus it's not open to the audience. So it's only going to be judged by the judges.
Oh, I see.
And that also is in because the International Miss World pageant requires that.
Right.
So that's why Canada has to be in line with that.
Of course.
Right. And so there's a lot of other, opportunities where the delegates can showcase their talents.
Indian families are very skeptical about pageants, sending their daughters and their sisters to pageants. So was there any resistance from your family?
No, actually my parents and my family were very supportive, and they encouraged me, and they're even supporting me to their best abilities right now. So I'm really lucky in terms of that.
Who's been your idol when it comes to, say, pageant queens? Whether it's Indian or anywhere else.
I would say my personal favorite is Sushmita Sen.
I love you for that, honey.
Okay,
10
I
on
disagree.
10.
I disagree. I love Aishwarya Rai.
Oh, God.
That's
When it
my
comes
favorite.
When it comes to women of substance, that's Sushmita
Oh, you mean
Sen.
we're disagreeing on something?
Yes.
What's going on here?
That's a first, hey. Sushmita Sen, don't get me started because I'm all for her. When I was growing up, the funny thing is in 1994, Sushmita Sen actually beat Aishwarya Rai in Miss India pageant.
Yes.
She won
Did
the
she?
pageant. Yeah.
Yes.
And then Aishwarya won in
Nope.
1994,
No,
didn't she?
In
Miss World.
1994, Sushmita went on to win Miss Universe. She
Okay.
became the first Miss
Oh,
Universe
here we
for
go.
India. And then Aishwarya Rai won Miss World. So in my room growing up, on one side of the room, we had a Sushmita Sen collage because I was a big Sushmita fan, and my brother was sharing the room with me at that time, and he had a big Aishwarya Rai collage.
There
and
you
we've
go.
been fighting for this all our lives.
That's why you're so prepared, because I feel like in this battle, don't give me that look.
I love
She's
this.
so prepared, and usually we're on the same level. You know what I mean? I have to be more prepared next time. But when it comes to Aishwarya and Sushmita Sen, I mean, they both have gone on to big things. So this is exciting for you, Donna. I mean, what's going to happen afterwards, right? We wish you all the best, that you're going to do well in the pageant, but then even just being part of this alone is an accomplishment. So what do you hope to do after all this is done? Say, for example, you win and you do your 1 year, it's 1 year term, right? What do you plan to do in the future with your education and all the experience you've gained?
Yeah, I do agree that just the whole experience is a great way to learn different things, because regardless of whether I win or not, the learning process is already on. And one of the main things I think that you learn is to accept rejection, because as part of this pageant, you're looking for sponsorships, you're trying to raise funds, and there's a lot of people who encourage you, but then not everyone is always there to say yes to you. And so that's a very big lesson, I think, that I've learned. And that you have to keep going. You just cannot accept it. You just have to keep trying. And as far as winning is concerned, yes, I'm going to try my best. But if not, I think the experience itself has, taught me a lot. And with regards to education, I plan to go to medical school in the future. So
awesome.
I'm really interested in pediatrics.
That's
and
awesome.
I
Okay.
think this entire experience will definitely give me a lot of exposure to different kinds of people and help me in my education.
You're very well prepared, I must say. She's answered all the questions perfectly.
I think you're going to do great. We wish you all the best. Go win the crown. Knock them dead.
Thank
You're going
you.
to do great. Good luck with everything, Donna. Thank you so much for taking our time and talking to our audience today and to us. It was a pleasure. It was a really fun-filled show, I must say.
And please, everyone, tune in next week to Click Lounge from 2 to 3 p.m.
Don't go anywhere. Angelina Rai is up next with Drive Home Grind.